Yeah, it says you've had a great start, you've got a great foundation. Where do you want to take it? So you stop and celebrate what you've achieved so far. And then you decide, where am I going to take it? How do I commit to this? You have commitment cards coming up as the advice and as the underlying energy. So it's bookended by commitment. What are you being asked to commit to? Now, this can be a house move. This can be a job move. This can be some kind of celebration of some kind. It does talk about celebration, even though it doesn't have to be a literal celebration. It's asking you to celebrate how far you've come. I've come this far. Look at the foundation that I have. But what am I going to build on it? So you have a solid foundation here with the Four of Wands. But then why? Why the Five of Cups? Why the Eight of Cups? The Five of Cups is, I don't think, and I really don't mean to stereotype you guys, I promise. I don't do that to the signs because we're all different, right? And which sign is the same anymore with all the shit that's been going on? No one is. Everyone's behaving like everyone else. But with this, it kind of feels like you're not celebrating how much you've achieved or what you've been through or what you've done. You're still looking at, well, that's missing. I missed that opportunity, or there's regret, or there's loss. And that's not to downplay it. The Five of Cups is, the emotions must always be honored. We're mourning for the loss of something when the Five of Cups comes in. But it's like whatever you've missed out on, whatever has gone, whatever the regret is or the missed opportunity, you've still done really well with the Four of Wands coming up. You've still done really well. You know, there's something that's coming up with this, and I did talk about this. I don't know the last time I talked about this, but whenever stories like this come up, it's a way for me to understand the energies. Now, I don't know if it was in your reading last time. I've said this to someone else before. When one of our really close friends in our group of friends, when he was 36, he died very suddenly in his sleep. Like he had a major cardiac arrest or something, and he died. And the thing is, you know, amazing person. We were all like in our early 30s, but it was like when each and every single one of us hit 40, all of us went kind of quiet, and no one really understood. We just thought, oh, they're getting old, that's why, because he was older than us. But it was this. It was that sense of, even though it was a celebration, it was the sense that he's never going to be 40. We all hit 40, but he would never hit 40. He's going to be 36 forever, right? So it's that sense that's coming in here. It may be that, and it happens, sometimes something good can happen. We can get the job, we can get the house, we can do whatever. But it's almost as if, I wish so-and-so was here to celebrate this with me. It can be that energy. That's what's coming through for some. I don't know who it's for. It's a bigger message than that. But for someone, that's the message. It's almost as if you've done really well, but there's a sadness of not being able to share it with someone. It doesn't mean that they've passed on. It could be that, you're no longer in a relationship with them. They're not in your life. Because we have this, and that's the Two of Cups, 2 cups that are still there. There is a connection. There is a relationship of support, but it's not enough. And I get that. It's very easy to say with the Five of Cups that, oh, get over it. Stop crying over spilled milk and, appreciate what you've got left. That you can't go forward if you're looking back over your shoulder. But it's not that easy. It's not that easy. So these emotions must always be honored. Take that time for yourself to get over this or whatever. Fives are always intense. It feels very intense. And when you're ready, you'll be ready to move on. The problem, and you will. Look, we've got the Eight of Cups, so don't worry. This is not going to be around for too long, because with this Five of Cups coming up, the problem comes when we get stuck here, when we think that's all there is, when we're transfixed, when we're focused on the Three of Cups. Now, for other people, this could be a loss of support, a loss of friends. But why am I pointing at the Three of Cups? Because that's the Two of Cups, that's the Three of Cups. So it's telling you one relationship of support is still there, but you feel like you've lost out. My inner circle's gone. My network of support's gone, whatever. And that might be because you've moved house. That could be because you've changed jobs, right? The energy is going to play out differently for everyone. But the reason I'm going to talk to her about her in a moment, but the reason I'm talking about the Three Cups is because there's the Three of Cups that you think are lost. They're here. They're coming up in the present. For some of you, it's the fact that, am I going to be supported through this? Where's the love? Where's the support? The High Priestess is coming up as a past energy. Now, she talks very much about intuition, what she knows, secrets it could be. But for me, it doesn't have to be nefarious. I don't like using that secrets because people immediately start thinking, oh my God, it's a secret. Someone's lying to me. It's not that. I kind of feel for you guys, there's been an intuition. There's been stuff going on under the surface. You know something, you have a gut feeling about something. Or you did, it's in the past, right? Last week, last month, last year. But you didn't act on it. And is that the regret? Is that the loss? That I knew it, but I didn't say anything or I didn't do anything? But you have an opportunity now. The Four of Wands can be, committing to someone. I want a bigger house. I'm moving out of my apartment. I'm going to go for that promotion. I commit to this. I'm going to build this bigger, grander, more. I want more. I've got a great start, but don't, what did they say? I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. But I'm not going to just stop here. This is not how it ends for me. I want more than this. But it comes from this missed opportunity regret thing that's going on. Someone didn't act on something. It doesn't have to be you. It's general, right? It could be both ways. But somebody didn't act. They were passive in this situation when action was called for. And I think it was commitment that was called for. Someone did not commit for whatever reason, whatever they were going through. Well, we have the Three of Cups coming up here in your present. Four of Wands, Three of Cups. They are both cards of celebration, both of them. And that's just it. If you're doing the Five of Cups thing, who wants to celebrate? Who wants to celebrate? But there's a reason to celebrate, Virgo. There is a reason to celebrate here. I mean, your reading, it's 3 parts. It's not even 6. There's 6 cards here. Celebrations, emotional stuff. And then we have that's the divine masculine. That's the divine feminine. It's in 3 parts. But what's going on right now, the underlying of this thing of wanting to commit, wanting to build, it's almost like you don't have the support to get this bigger, but you do. You think you don't, but you do. There are people that have your back. This can be a reunion. Sometimes I see reunions with the Three of Cups coming up there. But it says people have your back. I'm getting that people have your back for this. Maybe that's why you're not going bigger, because you think no one's going to help me. I can't do this by myself. How do I go forward? This feels very intense. There's a very lonely feeling here, guys. She's lonely. This person's lonely. They don't have any support. But you have people that support you. Three of Cups. Trust me on this. But then what happens? What happens? You have the Eight of Cups. Now, the Eight of Cups is being emotionally done with the situation. I don't think you're emotionally done with the Three of Cups. But have a look. I mean, just do the math, simple maths. 5 of Cups plus the 3 of Cups equals the 8 of Cups. Whatever this support is, and this doesn't have to just be friends and family members. This can be a community online. It could be, if you're dealing with grief and loss, you go and meet other people that have been dealing with that. There seems to be like 2 stories going on here, like at the same time, for the same person, whoever this is for. There's an opportunity to go bigger. You've done well to commit to this, but there's all this other shit that's going on emotionally, whatever this is. These are happening at the same time. But there is support for you. And it's strange because once you get that support, the 3 of Cups with the 5 of Cups, you get the 8 of Cups. That's when you leave it behind. You're emotionally done then with that. You're not grieving over it then. I mean, I'm not to say that, I don't want to be callous here and think, oh, you're just going to be like, screw that, I'm done. It's not that. It doesn't hurt with the 8 of Cups. That's the whole point of it. It doesn't hurt with the 8 of Cups. When the 8 of Cups comes in, doesn't matter how much time and effort you put to something, whatever it is, you've invested emotionally in this. You've gone through it, right? But here it's like, I'm good on this now. Now I can go for my heart's desire. Now I can have what I truly want. This kind of feels like a breakthrough week for you guys. I don't know how long this foundation has been here. I don't know how long you've known whatever it was to move on, but it's like whatever that emotional block is that's been holding you back. And I don't even like to say block, it's something that you're working through. You know, the timing is as the timing is. We have to work through it how we're going to work through it. But with the Three of Cups coming up, there is support here. Friends, family, community, a network, an agency, whatever it is, wherever you go to get this, it shifts the energy around you. It allows you to move on. That's what's coming in here, sorry. It allows you to move on. And that is when you don't just do the Four of Wands commitment, the advice, the Hierophant. Now, it's kind of strange. I want to say this to someone, and I don't know, it might just be one person, not even in chat. This might be for one person. It's almost like someone finds their faith again. But, but I mean that religiously as well. I don't just mean that in general. It's like almost as if they go back to it. There's a kind of born again feeling in this, but I mean it in a religious sense. I do mean it in the religious sense. For at least one person, there's that. Because with the High Priestess, yes, that's that spirituality, all of that stuff. But the Hierophant is religion. It's organized religion. And we don't have that in our lives to cause disruption. We have it for stability and security. That doesn't just have to be religion. The Hierophant is any kind of, it could be a 12-step program for some people. It can be whatever it is, right? But we commit to it. It's a society, or, in some of you going back to study, that's your big thing. Maybe you were meant to be studying and you couldn't study, right? Because there was some loss, so that's your missed opportunity. But let's talk about these two. If this is for some people, this is a very deep spiritual connection with someone. And I don't even want to use words like soulmate or twin flame, because I don't even think those words do justice to this connection for some people, that what's going on here. Because that's the divine masculine, the earthly representation of the spiritual. That's the divine feminine, the ethereal representation of that, spiritual energy, divine energy. All right, so this is a very spiritual card as well. So for those of you that this is a spiritual thing that's going on, the Hangman for me is that I believe. What do you believe? And for some, this can be a change in your philosophy. It can be a change in your whole outlook in life. There's some kind of organized, I don't want to use organized religion. It doesn't have to be that. The Hierophant it's the prescribed path, the tried and tested. But we choose to conform to it. We decide. Some of you are deciding to go back to it. Some of you are deciding to break away from it. But it comes from you. It's almost like this has all been hanging in limbo, whatever this is. That's what I mean. There's two things going on here. There's this internal shift that's taking place. And there's an external shift that's taking place. And I almost feel, and I'm really sorry for all of you that this happened to, that there's been some massive loss, missed opportunity, something that's been very painful for you with this Five of Cups coming up. It's not Three of Swords territory. I feel like there's something that happened. You lost something, or you missed out on something. And that's part of this. It was to change your perspective on something with the hanging man in this deck. And everything's been stuck in limbo. And yeah, you haven't been able to commit, or you haven't been able to get a commitment, or, the Hierophant brings stability to our lives. That's the card for Taurus. Who else do we have here? Oh, you don't have anyone else. But yeah, so this is, you're exhausted, guys. Like, I get it. But when we're exhausted, when we're tired, when we've been battling, that's not the easiest time. And have a look at him. He's a soldier by himself. That's how you feel. You've been a warrior by yourself.